Usually I leave the knife reviews to the knife people on YouTube. They probably do a much better job than me. But every once in a while I run across a knife that I think would be really beneficial for a prepper-minded person or a preparedness-minded person. And that one here is this new one that I found today. This is the Vosteed Nightshade LT. Let's open it up and take a look. So the first thing that struck me is the presentation of it. It's a really nice looking knife, yet it doesn't break the bank. Come in a little case like this. You just slide that right off. This is actually a metal tin. So let's open it up and take a look. And then there's more. It's like one of those Russian dolls where you got a little package in here. Nice little pouch. Okay? For those of you that want to keep your stuff really nice. And of course it was in plastic, but now it isn't. So we'll take a look here at this really quick. So this is the Vosteed LT. It's kind of a traditional, what are they, Shilan cutter or a kukuri. Kind of looks like a, I don't know how to say it, a Nessamuk, you know, the Alaskan type knife. It's got that kind of big belly on the knife itself. Really kind of cutting shape, you know. Definitely feels really nice in my hand. So I'm going to give you some information on this. First of all, the blade is a tall, flat ground, leaf-shaped blade. This is pretty much made for slicing, and we are going to test out that in a minute. It's a pointy negative tip angle, so it's good for a push or a draw cut when you have that nice tip up there. And it came, by the way, razor sharp out of the box. I don't know, this never seems to show up on here, but just to kind of show you. Yeah, that definitely did its job. So it definitely came razor sharp out of the box. That was really nice too, that they, you know, sometimes I have to touch them up. Not this thing, it was perfect. So I would think this would be perfect for your everyday carry, any kind of chores you're going to do with that, as well as food prep. If you're out, you know, in a base camp somewhere, or camping, or in a bug out type situation, you could use this as a dual use knife for food prep. I like the way that cuts. I like those round, big bellied knives that kind of just slice really well. The steel on it, 154 cm steel. It's a well-tested, mid-tier kind of steel. So you got a balanced performance, good toughness, and a good edge retention. I have not really done anything with this yet except for feel it. And we're going to see that. We're going to test out that edge retention on some just basic tasks. I'm not one of those people that when I test a knife, I want to bang it into concrete cinder blocks and go, look, it rolled the edge, you know. If you want that, you can go over to Dutch Bushcraft Knives. Some of their tests are kind of funny. I love watching them. They're actually kind of comical. On the construction here, you have a nice thick liner, okay? Nice thick liner inside. The release for it here is very easy to get to. Alright, you have a skeletonized milling on the inside of this. So inside here, it's not as heavy as it may look. Very nice little milling on the inside. I don't know if you can see that. There's kind of holes. So it's been kind of skeletonized out a bit, so it's not super heavy. But you do have that nice thick base. And when you close this, by the way, and you can close this without even touching it. Look at that line up there. Absolutely perfect. Now I know people are watching this going, yeah, okay, another $400 knife or $200 pocket knife. Nope, these are $70, $69. And I will give you the link down below where you can pick one up. So don't think they're super expensive. I like the fact that I can open it ambidextrous. There is a nice ball bearing on the inside there, so I can open it either way. I'm right-handed, but I just saw I opened it with my left hand with ease. It does have a crown spine, so you're not going to do any kind of ferro rod striking with it, but it is a really nice, eye-pleasing, classy design. Nice jimping up here, so it does allow you to get your hands on there and get a little bit of a grip. And it is, you know, it's weird. It's not very aggressive, but when I put my thumb there, it does hold it in place. You'd have to hold the knife to understand that. It does seem to fit in my hand very well. We are going to basically carry this around for a couple months and try it out and see how we like it, but I think I'm going to really like it. You know, I'm kind of fickle with my pocket knives because I have so many, I switch them out. And people are like, do you match them to your color of your clothing? I'm like, yeah, I always wear black, so there you go. But, you know, I rotate them out, so it's kind of easy. It does have a non-rotating pivot screw set, so it is easy to maintain this. You can get in there and take anything apart if you have to take it apart and clean anything up. Okay, nice jimping on the flipper and the spine. We told you about the spine, but the flipper also has that nice jimping. And I think that's some of the reason why I was able to do it with this hand as well as my right hand. I don't need to do that, but I want to do it for speed time there, for time's sake. So you do have that nice aggressive jimping on there. Again, it's the same thing. It doesn't feel it's going to rip your pocket up, but it feels like good in the hand. It feels nice in the hand. Okay, so you got a 3D contoured ergonomic handle. Very, very nice handle. It is G10 scales on it. Very smooth. Sometimes G10 can be very rough, or almost feel like fabric, that if you get any kind of oil on it or water on it, it'll ruin it. This is really nicely finished off. It's a nice little pocket knife. All in all, I gotta say, for the price of it, definitely getting a nice little knife. So you do have that lightly polished surface on the knife itself. It is easy to maintain. Just with my fingerprints, when I've been playing around with this, I got fingerprints on it, and I can just wipe it off with my using the edge of my shirt there, and it's nice and clean. It is easy to maintain. Doesn't seem like it's going to get some stains on it. It is good stainless steel, so probably should be just fine with that. The action on it is a caged ceramic ball bearing. All right, you do have that drop shut smoothness. Okay, I showed you that. I can just kind of drop it right into place. Very, very smooth. Very easy to open. So definitely a nice flipper. Definitely comfortable in your hand and easy to open like that. Now, I did mention the lock bar before, and there is easy access to it. Sometimes with the frame lock knives, you'll be trying to struggle to get into that thing. Right there you can see it. Very easy. Get right into it, push it, and close it. It is a nice, thick, sturdy lock bar. The lockup on it is very nice. You can almost see a little bit of an angle there where it fits right in, and that knife isn't going anywhere. It's no movement, no motion in it at all. This is actually a very nice, precise little knife. And I think for everyday carry, since most of our tasks involve cutting stuff, and I still have some hair on there, this would actually be a very, very nice knife. Again, you don't have the 90-degree spine, but you should be carrying a striker with your ferro rod anyway. So, and I do like the presentation. I love the G10 grips. They really feel good in your hand. Nice and smooth. So, what we're going to do is try it out with a couple of things here to see how good of a slicer and how good of a cutter it is. And then we're going to try it out on some cardboard, because one thing's for sure, if you've ever cut a lot of cardboard, if you work in an industrial setting where you're always breaking down boxes, you'll know how quickly cardboard dulls a knife. So, let me get a little cutting board out here and try it out. Alright, the last thing you probably think you'd use your pocket knife for is the first thing we're going to test here, and that's cutting food. I got an onion here. We're just going to give it a little chop. And it seems to push right. Gosh, that is so easy. It's like it just drags right through it. It almost feels like you want to push. You can even push cut it through there with push cuts, and it goes right through easy. It is so, so smooth. And you see how, I don't know how thin I could get it. Let's try the other side and start with the thinness and see how thin I could get it. Yeah, I mean, you can see I'm getting wafer thin slices on there. So as far as cutting food, I would think this would be an awesome kind of, not only a great everyday carry knife, but a handy kind of camp knife if you have to cut up some food at your campsite. And to clean it up, pretty simple, just wipe it off. It's stainless steel. You're not worried about it getting rusted or anything. And there you go. So let's try out our next test, which is going to be paracord. Now, one of the things that I think this is going to excel in is cutting stuff like this, cordage. Because of the belly, the shape of design of the knife, you get that arc up here that just cuts right into it, that angle. So, let's see first. Okay. That just slices right through that, no problem. Let's do two of them and see. I always try to do this without hitting the camera. There you go, right through. So, definitely a nice cutter. Definitely smooth, I gotta say. That's really nice to be able to just zip through. Look at that. I didn't even try on that one. The smaller ones too. You just zip right through it. You can even push cut through. I pushed my way through that one and cut it. You see the edge on there. Okay, so paracord, definitely good for. Definitely going to cut that well. Next up, let's try some cardboard. Now, my first introduction to knives was, why are these darn knives always getting so dull all the time? Well, I worked in a banquet department in a large hotel, and I was always breaking down boxes for recycling. And I found that cardboard will dull the edge of a knife really, really quick. It just tears through that. Look at that. No problem at all. Won't have any issues cutting through that. And I really wouldn't worry about using this, because I know not only do you have decent edge retention on it, but you can sharpen the steel very well. To keep a good edge, I want to keep from cutting my fingers off. But you see, that went through that no problem, and I still have a razor sharp edge. We're going to test that too. Next up we're going to do is a little bit of fat wood that I have lying around here. And then after all this cutting up, we're going to try to see what it's like on paper. Alright, so I'm using a white cutting board now, so you can actually see what I'm getting off here. We're going to try and just cut off some shavings on this. No problem at all getting the shavings off. It's really hard to make curls with this kind of a fat, this store-bought fake fat wood. But it can be done. Definitely wants to cut through. That's no problem. The sharpness isn't the issue. It's the type of wood, really. Yeah, I can cut through that, no problem at all. I'm not having any issues cutting through any kind of wood. Now, with a striker and a ferro rod, I could easily light all those shavings up, no problem. And again, let's feel it. Yeah, still feels razor sharp. So the last test we're going to do is with some paper. And I'm going to do it right here, so you see I don't have a chance to go and strop it or sharpen it up or anything. Okay. Right, whoops. Yeah, that looked good. Right straight through it, no problem. So we still have a nice sharp edge. Nice sharp cutting edge. Did not do any damage to the blade whatsoever. This isn't the best paper to test it with either, but you can see it tears right through it. So, no problem at all. And that first one was my fault there. I ripped the darn thing. So, definitely a handy little knife. It's probably still, I would be willing to bet, shaving sharp. We can try that too. Yep, still shaving hair, as you can see there. There's the hair on the end. So it's definitely still sharp. I don't know why that paper didn't want to cooperate with me in the start there, but as you can tell, it's definitely sharp. But I did want to do it right away so you didn't think I went and stropped it or sharpened it up. So definitely does the job. I'm impressed with it, and for the price, you can have a quality knife. You know, instead of spending, $20, $30 every time you go to a knife shop or a outdoor shop like we have our Big Five here that sells pretty much junk knives for, $20, $30. The Smith & Wesson with the big serrated edges and stuff. I would think something like this would be definitely a little bit more of a step up for you with your everyday carry. I do love the fact that I can close this without having to close it, without having to push it closed. It just closes on its own. And the action on it's really addicting. You can just sit there and flip all day long. Drive people crazy while you're sitting there flipping your knife. But I definitely like it. It's comfortable, feels good in your hand. I like the blade style. Even in a worst case scenario, if you had to use this as your main knife, I wouldn't baton with it, but I think it would probably survive that easily. So definitely cool little knife. So that is the Vosteed Nightshade LT. Okay, and again, it's designed kind of after a kukri type style knife. It's got the big leaf-shaped blade on it with the big belly on the bottom, and that really helps your cutting power. I noticed that when I was doing the onion, it was just I could push or pull cut without a problem. I could push my way through the onion or cut and pull back, and it was getting razor thin slices. So definitely impressed with it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will leave a link down below where you can check this out. Again, this is just my own personal review of it. This is a knife I'm going to actually carry and use, so I wanted to give you guys my opinion of it. Like I said, most of the knife reviews, unless it's a big bushcraft knife or something, I leave it to the knife reviewers. Same with the guns. I mean, I do a lot of shooting. I do a lot of outdoor stuff with that. But, as far as gun reviews, I'm probably better off leaving it with somebody who does only that, as opposed to me doing it, unless I get something new and want to show it to you. So that's what I do with the knives. I kind of leave the reviews to other people most of the time, but when I come across a knife that's an awesome EDC type everyday carry knife that I think if you're a prepper, the first thing you should do is go out and buy a flashlight and a knife and carry it with you everywhere. Definitely handy little knife. So I will leave a link down below where you can check it out. It is on Vosteed's website. Don't forget to check out all our other websites. The knife itself is $69, like I said. Don't forget to check out all our other websites below that. I want to give you a quick measurements on the blade. The overall length on it is 7.48 inches. Your blade length is 3.2 inches, 2.26. So you get under in those jurisdictions that don't allow a 4-inch blade. Blade width, 1.21 inches. Blade thickness is 0.118 inch. Okay. Blade material is your 154 cm. Hardness, the Rockwell hardness is 60 plus or minus 2. And again, it's a fusion kind of kukri, shalin cutter kind of style. It is a flat ground blade, satin finish. Okay, handle length is 4.2 inches, handle width 0.89 inches, so almost an inch. And your handle is G10 material right there. So, like I said, the link will be down below. Check them out. If you're interested in a little bit of a better quality knife without spending $400 and $500, this does feel like a very expensive pocket knife at 70 bucks. Can't beat that. I've seen pocket knives. If you've ever seen some of the, gosh, I forget the name of it. at the SHOT Show video I did a couple years ago, where I was at a booth and the pocket knives were $3,000. You know, they were all custom, high-end, titanium, you know, all sorts of different colors on them, and they were crazy. I think they were Medford knives, yeah, and it was just absolutely insane. I would be scared to, I'd love to own one, but I'd be scared to carry it for losing it, you know? So, and most of the time they're $700 or $800 pocket knives. These were just high-end custom ones for the display. But I definitely think you'd be served well with it, and whatever you do, even if 69 bucks is too much, as a prepper, you should always be carrying some kind of lighting device and some kind of knife in your pocket. I can't tell you how many times a knife has come in handy for me, just regular everyday life. So definitely check them out. Link will be there. Don't forget our Amazon affiliate store down below. Below that is our freeze-dried wholesaler link. If you're watching this video within the last week of May being made, we do have a contest going on, okay? $1,000 worth of food from freeze-dried wholesalers. Check out the link down below or go back in my videos, and the link that I have down below will save you 15% if you order from them. Okay, you don't need any codes or anything. Just by clicking that link, you're going to save 15%. But it's about 4 or 5 videos back where I have the actual contest. All you have to do is just drop a comment in there to win. Chance to win $1,000 worth of food, broken down into 500, 250, 100, and a bunch of third place runners up. So definitely check that out. Below that is our My Patriot Supply link. That site is doing a special this month, $250 off a 3-month supply of food. Definitely a good deal. If you've got nothing and you're getting interested in prepping and starting out, you can save 250 bucks right off the bat right there. It's a good way to get a lot of food quickly, and you've got a 3-month supply. And below that is our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store. Don't forget to check that out if you're interested. There's nothing to join if you don't want to. You can go there and just order the food, see if you like it. Anyway, folks, thank you for watching. Have a great Sunday. Stay safe and stay prepared.